You have served time in prison.
All right, right?
Is that something we could talk about?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Now, how much time in prison have you served?
From all together, since I was a juvenile, probably almost 10 years.
And are you able to break that down?
Not really, cause I was in and out so many times. I can bring up the long times that I did, like the from when I was like 18 to 21. I did a little bit over 2.5 years. Then when I caught my last case, I did 5 years and 3 months. And all the other time is just in and out of jail. Like when I was a juvenile, doing 3 months and stuff like that. Then doing another 3 months, so it just add up like that.
When it comes to the stretch of time of 5 years and 3 months?
Yeah,
Okay, that was one bid.
yeah. That's just when I just came home. That was just recently.
And how long has it been since you've been home?
I ain't even been home 60 days. No, I ain't been. I don't think I've been home 60 days yet.
How long do you think? Rough estimate.
I say almost 60 days.
Almost 60 days. Okay,
Yeah.
so almost 2 months.
Yeah.
How do you feel at this point?
I'm still getting used to everything. I'm still getting everything situated. I still ain't got everything together that I need to get taken care of. I've been spending time with my kids mostly, and you know what I'm saying, still adjusting to what I got to do.
Now, I want to break a couple elements about that stretch of time that you did, but I want to start from the very beginning. What charge were you convicted of that led to this amount of time?
Um, Aggravated robbery. They dropped my charges down because I copped out to 12 years. So, and then Illinois is 50%. So I took 12 years, and I had to do 50% of that, which is 6 years. But you can get in like programs and stuff to get good time and stuff. So I was going to school and doing stuff like that, and that's what got my time knocked down. That's why I only had to do 5 years and 3 months.
Now, prior to this, prior to this stretch of time
Yeah.
and this conviction, how many times have you been convicted as a felon or convicted of a felony before this?
I think like 3 or 4 other convictions. Like it was all wrapped in one. Though I had possession of over 500 grams of cannabis, attempt to sell, manufacturing and delivering. Like it was all that wrapped in one. That was and a regular robbery.
So, for practical purposes, is it safe to say this is the second time you've been convicted as a felon or
Yeah.
a second time
Yeah, that's what
felony offender? I don't know how they would.
Yeah,
I don't know what the correct
I would
phrase
say it
is.
like that to be my second strike that I just did.
Got it. Second strike. Now, you did accept a plea deal in this particular case.
Yeah.
Why did you go that route? And I know every situation and scenario is different, but for you personally, why did you go that route in this?
Because 12 years sound a lot better than me going to trial and facing 21 to 45 years. Because if I would have went to trial, I would have been facing 21 to 45 years if convicted. And I can't say that it wasn't looking good, that I could have beat the case or that wasn't. I just know that I'm risky, but I ain't that risky.
What age were you back then when you accepted this plea deal?
I had just turned 25.
And for time reference, it's December 2021 now.
Yeah.
Now, when you accept this deal, was this the first deal you were offered?
No, my first deal was like 21 years or something, 18 or something.
How many offers did you decline before you accept this one?
3 or 4.
Did you have a paid attorney at the time?
I had only time I didn't have a paid attorney was my first court date. Then Montana paid for my lawyer and got me a paid attorney.
What did you care to give a review on their work or?
Um,
or what you thought of their work in this case?
um, I can't really say. I really can't really say like if it was good or not. They ain't do what I want. I was trying to get. I was trying to get like 9 or 8 years.
And what, I know this happened in Illinois, what city or county did this actually take place in this charge?
Peoria, Illinois.
Okay, now, in this amount of time, 5 years and 3 months, what prisons were you stationed at during
Um,
this
you,
length?
you start off with going through receiving, and I went to Stateville. That's NRC. I had to stay there because I had another case. I had another gun case in Pontiac, so I had to stay there for 3-4 months because I had to go to trial from there. But I eventually ended up going to trial, and I beat that case. And I would have been, for that case, I was facing 6 to 30 years at 85% because they charged me with armed habitual. So that increased everything. So I ended up beating that case, so I didn't get no time on that case. So after I left there, I went to Robinson Correctional Center, then I went to Jacksonville Correctional Center. I got lucky this time. I on my last time I was in jail, when I had to do a little bit over 2.5 years, they sent me to medium maxes and stuff. These joints was only medium, so I got lucky.
Can you explain the difference for viewers watching that are just getting familiar with this terminology here, the difference?
Medium maxes, you're gonna be in a cell for 21 hours, and you're only gonna be out 3 hours. Where I was at, I got lucky, and we out all day almost, really, until we got they lock us back and gotta lay down, and they was dorm settings, so it ain't like it's cells. So I really got lucky. It got it. Both of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that some of them better. It just depends what type of person you are. Because some people more rather be in a cell when they only got to worry about them and they cellie. In the dorm setting, you got to worry about you and 19 other people. You know what I'm saying? So both of them can be a little bit more riskier. It depends what type of person you is.
Now, the type of person you are,
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd care to describe yourself before you answer this question, but which did you actually prefer?
I prefer the dorm setting because we can get on the phone more. So I liked that phone. So I played the phone the whole time I was locked up. That's all I did. Like, I even almost got kicked out the prison for the phone. So that's all I like getting on that phone, talking to my people.
When you say almost got kicked out, can you explain?
Yeah, they told me if I get caught running another phone line, they gonna kick me up out of here. So that's what really happened.
What does that mean, running another phone line?
I mean, like, you telling people who can get on the phone next or something like that, but it wasn't really like that. It's just shit. I just get on the phone, shit.
Now, that type of description there, someone running the phone line, and this is, again, for viewers watching this, maybe going to experience prison themselves at some point. And this is all state prison this was a state.
Yeah, this state.
This was a state scenario, not a federal. But what is that? I know it wasn't exactly as described in your instance, but what usually happens in an instance when someone's running the phone? Does that mean like someone has to pay something extra to jump the phone line, or they're giving privileges to their buddies first?
Yeah,
it's like some
normally,
is it
like,
some form of extortion?
It's gonna be like gang. Like, everybody know who the guys is. Like, shit, if you gang, you straight no matter what gang you in or whatever type of shit going on. Like, if you gang, you gang. Only motherfucker who gotta worry about shit like that is, you know what I'm saying, child molesters and motherfucker got them file cases and shit like that shit. You know, the niggas run that shit like motherfuckers do on certain days. Motherfuckers do treat the white motherfuckers too, shit, because shit. That's just how that shit go. Like, the niggas run that shit.
Now, when you say the phrase gang, do you mean literally in a gang, or you just mean in their circle?
No, like, gang, like, cause I ain't in no gang, but I'm gang. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna know who the members is. Like, if you 100 or you not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta be in no real gang to be gang. Like, if motherfuckers fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you. I ain't never had no problem. No prison I ever went to. I always been straight.
Okay, now, before I go further with my questions about life in prison, or what life is like in prison, not actual life in prison as a sentence, but this second case that you beat, you actually took that to trial.
Yeah, I took that one to trial.
That was a paid attorney as well?
Nah, I ain't need no paid attorney on that. I knew that shit was beat. They tried to put one gun on 4 people. So shit, they had me fucked up.
Now, the resuming my questions here. Okay, when you say you were lucky, were you supposed to be in a higher type of prison with what you had been charged for?
The way Illinois work, it's like rolling the dice. Like you just never know. Like you go through a whole little maze and shit. You just after you done with that maze, you gotta wait. Like shit, just wait. You waiting in your cell. You ain't coming out. You taking one shower a week, and you just waiting on a bag to come, and you don't never know what number finna be on this bag. And when that motherfucker comes, shit, you either gonna be happy or you gonna be salty, shit. And I just happened to I got lucky that time. Last time, shit, like I said, I had got that. I think that bag said K-19. That shit said Shawnee. I'm like, damn. They sending me, what, that's like 8 hours away from where I'm from.
Now, the first time you were convicted of a felony, or felonies, I should say, and you did 2 years and change, that was also state prison as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
State.
Yeah. Okay, so now my next set of questions are gonna be for either experience of your first time doing the 2 or the second time doing the 5, okay?
All right.
But what does being incarcerated in state prison feel like for someone that's never experienced that?
It's over fucked up right now. So, like, especially with this corona going on, like, shit ain't nothing like it used to be. Like, if you had money, you used to be a little bit more comfortable than people who ain't got no money. But right now, they got it set up like shit. You can only spend like $50 at store. So shit, like you gonna be just as uncomfortable as a motherfucker who ain't got shit. So right now, that shit over fucked up. Worst part, if you got kids, shit like that shit do something to you. Especially I got my daughter. So the main thing that I was focused on was making sure she's straight. Like, you know, I know my dog and I'm gonna make sure she's straight. And I'm lucky to have a good baby mama to make sure she was straight the whole time and shit. Like I never had to worry if my daughter had clothes or food. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was straight.
Any other description of what it feels like to be incarcerated in state prison for someone that's never experienced that? Watching this and maybe headed there themselves.
Just pee it. Don't go there. Like it ain't nothing cool. It ain't none of that shit. Just don't risk it. I tell you that right now. I done been there a bunch of times, and I'm real risky, and I ain't even down there risking it no more. Shit.
Now, somebody watching this may be wondering, why did you end up going more than once to state prison? Obviously, you had done 2.5, and then you did 5.
Yeah.
There's some people that are watching this that may think, if you experience it one time, why put yourself in a position to experience it ever again? Because this feeling that you just described was like you never want to do it again.
Exactly.
But what led you to?
If you
get my drift.
Yeah, I get you. When I first came home, I was over straight. Like I stayed away from risky situations. I was still doing a little bit, but I wasn't doing nothing that put me behind bars for a long time. I lost focus. That's where it came in at. Like I forgot the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? I forgot my goals, and I got back in the streets over tough. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it came down to. Shit. Once all that happened, I stopped. I get to like I don't know. Once I get to, I don't give them that fuck. Like I just don't give a fuck. Like it's just gonna be it. Whatever it's gonna be, it's just gonna be.
Now there's some viewers watching this interview that have experienced county jail but never state prison yet.
Yeah.
Are you able to explain the difference between county jail and state prison?
It depends. I've been in county jail like 3-4 times, and I know every time I go, I know I'm facing time. But I also see people who not really facing no time, and I see how it is to them. When you in there and you facing some time, it's gonna be more depressing because like county jail gonna be worse than state prison because you don't know what your future hold. Like you don't know, you don't have an out date. You don't know if you going home your next court date, or you don't know if you finna go do 15 years your next court date. So that's the difference with that. You know what I'm saying?
And for transparency, care to share what county jails you've experienced previously?
Shit, I've been to Peoria County, Livingston County, Tazewell County, and another county. They all in Illinois though.
Now, when it comes to prison, what about fights?
I was young when I first came in, and I just left the county, and I just had all that time. So on this last time, like our county be busting, so shit, like I still had that county mentality. So as soon as I got to the prison, I tweaked with a motherfucker that I ended up like fucking with, Tough. That's my dog. But yeah, we fought over shooting dice and shit, and I was really bogus. It just shit. I just was tweaking, especially I was young then. You know what I'm saying? Like probably the situation now, I wouldn't get no fuck about, but then I just was tweaking.
Now, how many fights do you think you've done in state prison or been involved in?
I think I only had like 2 one-on-one fights, but shit, we done road shit. Like road shit, we just like it's like 3, 4 of us like fucking somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Like they did something bogus, and like when you on the deck with a motherfucker, like I done been on this deck with a motherfucker over a year. You know what I'm saying? I'm considering this nigga my brother. Like I know what he going through, and he know what I'm going through. So if somebody fuck with him, shit, like I'm the same way in the streets. If I fuck with somebody, like I don't know nothing about no one-on-one fights and shit. We own that. Just don't disrespect none of us.
Now, in the 2 one-on-one fights that you've experienced in state prison, was it all on that 5 year? No.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm just talking about my last bill now. First time I went to jail, did I have any fights? Let me see. I was 18. I can't really remember shit. I don't think I did though.
Okay. All right. So you were in 2 fights during the 5-year, 3-month stretch. When it came to both of those fights, were those fights you were initiating yourself or defending yourself?
I say that's my fault. Shit, I was tweaking.
You end up winning or losing those fights?
The first one they say I won, but I don't agree that I won because in them when you fight in them cells and that metal around, like you really can't really get wild how you gonna get wild. Now the other ones like it was in the hallway, so it was better. Like you know what I'm saying?
The second one, you end up winning or losing?
I won.
You've rolled with others
Yeah.
in an altercation, but have you ever been rolled on yourself?
Nah.
When it came to those 2 one-on-one fights, were weapons involved?
Nah. Now if you go to the max joints, you gotta. Well, I can't say that because I seen motherfuckers get their ass beat with locks and shit, but no. I always put myself in a situation where I wouldn't let nobody grab nothing.
Now, these 2 fights that you admit were faults of your own, they could have been prevented. They didn't have to get physical.
Of course.
Top 3 reasons inmates fight.
The phone. It didn't used to be like that until the phone calls got cheap, but now it's the phones, gambling.
One more if there's one more reason.
Phone gambling and phones. I'll tell you that. That's what it is.
Can one survive state prison without having to fight at all?
Of course. It's a lot of people that do that. Like, it's not, you don't got to prove yourself to nobody. Like, shit, if motherfuckers, you come in there, motherfuckers see you're a player, they gonna fuck with you all strength, just as long as you ain't on no fool shit, no coward shit or nothing. Like, just stand on all 10, you straight.
Now, how did you survive state prison? Because there's sometimes you hear news stories where people don't make it out.
Yeah, but where I was at, ain't nobody dying. Shit, COVID took more motherfuckers out the prisons I was at than anything else.
When it comes to the coronavirus, COVID-19, was that something you've experienced?
Yeah, I caught Corona twice since I was in jail. So like I seen motherfuckers dying in that motherfucker. Like it's a motherfucker named Big Swole. Rest in peace, Big Swole. He was gone a long time and he was on his way home. And shit, like he was gone I think 20 plus years, and now he was down to like another year. Then caught Corona and died. So like the ambulance pulling up every day, motherfuckers dying.
When it comes to the coronavirus, COVID-19, you got it twice while you were during the 5-year bid.
Yeah, from shit when Corona hit March of 19 really. From March of 19, well I caught it in April. Then I caught it again like right before I had left.
Is that preventable at all?
No, not where I was at. We in a dorm setting. Once it's there, everybody gonna get it.
What about when it comes to vaccinations? Is that mandatory in state prison?
No, it's not mandatory. People got it, but shit, people still catching it with the vaccine, so it really didn't matter.
That's something they do offer in state prison if you want?
Yeah, I refused it.
Care to share your reasoning or stance on that?
Yeah, it just need a little bit more knowledge for me, like the long term effects. Obviously, shit, motherfucker ain't had it long enough to know what happens in 5 years and stuff like that. So that's really the main reason.
Now, after you contract the virus the very first time, was there ever a thought on vaccination after that?
No, I'm hard headed.
And how far apart did you catch these?
Probably a year later.
And how bad did it get for you? What symptoms did you encounter?
The first time it beat me. Shit, like I had the sore throat, the headache, and my stomach was hurting. But the second time, I ain't really even know I had it. Like they had to come test me and tell me I had it.
The very first time you contracted it, did you lose your sense of smell or taste?
Nope. But it was everybody that was around me. They was going through all that, so I got lucky.
Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, and not all prisons are the same, I assume. But generally speaking, what are some do's and don'ts inside state prison for someone watching this about to do some time themselves? Maybe they're taking some notes on this conversation we're having.
Just focus on yourself. Don't get in nobody's business. That's all you gotta do. Don't try to fit in. Like just be 100.
Ever done solitary confinement?
Yes.
What was the longest?
2 weeks.
And what got you to experience that?
I was under investigation for gambling.
Now, what was solitary confinement like for you? 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks wasn't really shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, that ain't nothing. So it wasn't shit.
Are there different levels of solitary confinement?
Yeah, like where I was at, I just happened to be lucky. So I was already at that prison a while, so I had a lot of motherfuckers that I fuck with. So motherfuckers still, the porters is motherfuckers that come and pass you your trays and they gonna come clean up the hallway and shit. So they still sliding me shit under the door and shit. So I was decent.
Any further description on what it was like, solitary confinement?
Nah, like you have to ask somebody who went through that.
Was it worth it?
Hell no. Not at all.
I'm talking about solitary confinement.
Oh, I thought you were talking about jail. No, solitary confinement.
Whatever got you in trouble for spending 2 weeks in there, was it worth
gambling
it?
for me, that helped my time fly. So I could say, yeah, like 2 weeks of solitary confinement is worth like my time flying like that.
Now, what is your opinion of PC?
Protective custody?
Yes.
Like, shit. I'd rather them motherfuckers take their ass to PC, get their ass out our way. Shit, I don't want their ass around us. Shit. That's what I say about it. You know you ain't gonna survive back here with these wolves. Shit, you might as well move around.
Craziest thing you've seen in state prison?
Craziest thing I seen, I ain't gonna say. But some crazy shit. Um, some crazy shit. Well, I seen a motherfucker get their ass. I seen a motherfucker try to hit somebody with a lock in a sock, like a padlock. You would put it in a sock, and you'll try to bust somebody's head with that motherfucker. And he hit a motherfucker with that motherfucker, but I seen that motherfucker that he hit bite his nose off, like literally, like bite his fucking nose off.
What did that look like?
It was fucked up, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was entertainment shit. We in jail shit.
Do you actually end up seeing where that bitten piece of nose?
Nah, hell no, shit. When we see shit like that, you try to move around because they gonna try to see what was all involved with shit. Like, I seen it and I moved around. Like, hell no.
Now, I've asked you a bunch of questions when it comes to prison. Any other prison stories?
No.
Okay. Now, this is going to sound like a strange question, and I'm going to ask you this respectfully. And the reason why I'm asking is because I've heard someone actually give me an answer in this manner, okay?
Uh-huh.
You already said what the worst thing about state prison was, and that was your relationship with your child.
Yeah.
Okay? Again, respectfully, I'm asking you this. If there is a silver lining when it comes to prison, if that's the worst thing, is there a best thing?
A best thing.
I know that sounds like a strange
Best
question.
things that come out of shit like prison is like, for me, would be the education I gained. All the books that I read, like I read books from starting your own business to stocks to learning self, you know what I'm saying? So that's, like, I tell motherfuckers all the time, like, I wouldn't take that shit back for nothing because I'm pretty sure I would have never gained all the knowledge that I gained without me going to jail.
And again, the reason why I'm asking this, and this is for viewers watching, that are saying to themselves, why would you ask a question about the best thing in prison? Is because I've actually heard someone say, and I can't remember who, but I've heard someone say something to the nature of, as bad as it was, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I needed that. Yeah. I've heard some people say that. So not everybody said that.
That's basically kind of where I'm getting at, you know what I'm saying? Like, because...
Now we're winding down my questions here. But what did this entire prison experience teach you? What did you learn from this, if anything?
I learned the knowledge of self. Like, I know who I am, who I really am and shit. And I learned how to plan. I know self. Like, I really know, like, if I'm losing focus, like, I can go to sleep at night and unwind and know where I went wrong. And before then, I was just like, shit, tomorrow gonna be tomorrow. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Shit, I'm gonna wake up, grab my pipe, and I'm gonna get out here.
What do you wish you knew before entering prison, if anything?
I wish I knew.
Yeah. Is there anything looking back you say to yourself, man, I wish someone would have told me that?
I wish I knew. I can't really explain it, but I can't say that I wish I knew something because I don't think nothing would have stopped me from doing anything. Like, shit, I didn't give a fuck. Like, didn't nothing really matter. If I knew it, I don't think it would have changed. Like, even though I knew, I mean, if I would have knew that I would have been facing 21 to 45 years and I could have possibly got took away from my daughter. As much as I love my daughter, I don't know if that would have stopped me from trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but generally speaking here, let's say somebody's watching this interview and they're an actual inmate right now. Anything you would say to them?
Shit, free the guys. Shit, they know how we coming. Shit, free the real.
Anything else you want to mention about state prison or question I didn't ask, people want to know?
Fuck 12. That's it.
Now, when it comes to your music, have you mentioned your prison experience at all in your music?
Yeah, I got some new shit on the way, and I talk about it. I don't try to get too in depth in it, you know what I'm saying? But eventually I probably will, but I tap it a little bit.
And in what aspect?
Um, like I talk about like how I don't want to risk going back, but shit, if you know what I'm saying, like if it's my life or somebody else's life, shit, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna be that. Um, I mentioned all my dogs, who locked up and shit.
So it's more or less lyrics on various songs.
Yeah, I ain't got no just one song when I'm, you know what I'm saying? Not yet. I can't say that I won't do it, but not yet.
Sometimes you hear of a first day out song.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that?
I was gonna do one, but I think I would have been a little bit too disrespectful. So um, I grew out of that stage. So that's the only reason I really ain't do. I could have redid one, but I just chose not to.
Now, what about the very first time you did a bit of 2 years and some change? Did you have a first day out song?
No, I didn't. No. Then all I was worried about was getting out hustling. Now I'm finally focused on music.